Hello class, welcome to another instalment of economics. Now we're now on to lessons 3 and 4. Now the material here should take you 2 periods, so think about planning yourself just under an hour, so about 50 minutes, 2 blocks of that. So those clever clogs will be able to, that's about an hour and 40 minutes. So you might want to do it all at once, or you might want to spread it out over 2 periods. So if we have a look here, we can click on there, but I've got it up here. Now, what you're going to do is find out a bit more about Henry Ford. We hear a bit more about our whole idea of division of labour. Now, if we have a look at the slides 33 and 34, what we've got are 2 slides. I think this is quite a long one here, but please stop on the line, story of mass production. This one here is quite a long one. You don't need to watch it all first off. It's split into 2 sections, and there's a little comedy with Charlie Chaplin. There is no sound, it is a silent movie. So what we can see here is we need to read some text. You can read all about this. We've talked about division of labour by process, and now we're going to have a look all about Henry Ford, and I'll explain what we're going to do with this information shortly. So we can see we're going to read all of this. It's quite a lot. You're then going to watch that movie, the On the Line movie, about first 20 minutes, and just again answer the questions as you go along. Now please remember, you can pause the movie, fill in the questions, and keep playing. All the questions are in order of the movie. So we come our way down here, we hear about Frederick Taylor, efficiency expert, and we hear all about them. So there's quite a lot of questions here. We work our way through them, just fill them in as you go along. We should be quite used to that. Now there's a second part of the movie, so this is why it takes a bit longer. Not so many questions, a little bit about Charlie Chaplin's film that I've asked you to watch. It's a bit silly, and see what it does to Charlie Chaplin. So these are just a couple of the clips that we've got links to them earlier. And you can also then have a look at how cars are made today. So all this should take you about 2 lessons. The video is quite long, so it's up to you. Spend an hour and 40 minutes if you like working your way through this, or split it into 2 sections. So answer all these questions, and I will, as you go along, I'll have a look over the next 2 periods that I've got you, and I'll sort of check in that you're doing it, see how you're getting on, and pass comments. If you've got any questions, please do email me. Now, what we're going to do, I'll show you a little bit of what we're going to do for lessons 5. It says 5 and 6. I think we might just do it in 5 and 6. So we'll have a look at this. What all this is leading to is an assessment in this. It's our Henry Ford assessment. Now, we're just going to be watching that video about Henry Ford. So it's good to take a note of this. And what you're going to be is you're going to take on the role of a reporter for the Detroit Gazette. You can write all about the Ford Motor Company from the perspective of different people in the town, and come to a conclusion about how good you think this method of production is. Now you can see we've got a newspaper, if you don't know what a newspaper looks like. And again, we can see there's some instructions here. I'll go through this in the next one. Let's scroll down to how it's going to be. So you can see by watching that video and answering these questions, that should help you. A lot of evidence, a lot of sources there, describe what mass production was like at the Ford Motor Company. So you have to give a good description, 2 points, all about the Ford Motor Company. You then, in your report, in your newspaper, you're going to explain what it was like from different viewpoints. Now that could be a worker, a manager, Henry Ford, someone living in Detroit at the time. You'll get all this information from the video, so that's why it's important to watch it. Now you're going to have to pretend you're going to interview them, but you can see the sort of things they say when they have the interviews and what points they make. And finally, you're going to state if you think it was a good idea or not. Now I'll run through all this again in lessons 5 and 6, but I think it's quite important to understand what we're doing in lesson 3 and 4 here. As it says, these are just sources to allow us to be able to do that piece of work. So what you might want to do is 3 and 4, and then get quickly on to 5 and 6. If you've got any questions, please do email me, and I will be around for normal timetables. Timetable time, I will be at my computer, so I'll reply to you quite quickly. Outside that time, it might take a little longer. I might not be at my computer, but I'll reply to you quickly. Okay, thank you.